So lately I've been seeing people discussing a theory that Venom Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5 is actually Frank Yeager, the cyborg ninja from Metal Gear Solid 1. And while I personally do not think this theory is accurate, I did find it intriguing when someone was able to convince an AI bot that it was true. So I thought I would try that for myself, see if I could convince an AI of my own theory. My my AI was Meta AI, which really isn't AI, it just scans Bing. So let's do this. Now you might notice a few time jumps in my questions. I was doing this while I was at work, and despite the monumental importance of this question that I was trying to get answers for, occasionally I had to do my job. So at 11:21, I asked Meta AI, "Is Venom Snake the Burger King?" Meta gave me a quick intro on Venom Snake, and then insisted that the Burger King theory is a popular one amongst fans, which maybe it is. If I've thought of it, someone else has thought of it. But in my quick little Google search, I couldn't find any evidence of the theory. They then insisted that the connection is completely fictional, not supported by any statement or anything by the creators. They talked a little bit more about Venom Snake, made a slight mistake calling him Ishmael, and then once again insisted that there is no actual connection. I of course had to correct Meta that Ishmael is actually Big Boss, aka Naked Snake, not Venom Snake. And Meta, recognizing my superior intellect, backed down and thanked me for correcting its mistake. At 11:43, I pointed out that both Venom Snake and the King use stealth to complete their objectives. Meta agreed that this is a clever observation, but then proceeded to point out the differences in the characters, where Venom Snake is a trained soldier, often using stealth to attack people. The King uses stealth to sneak up and surprise people with tasty treats. Meta then reassured me that this is an amusing observation. To counter Meta's argument about the different reasons the characters use stealth, I pointed out that when Venom Snake captures an enemy and sends him back to Mother Base, the enemy quickly becomes a loyal ally. And when the King surprises a random civilian with a tasty treat, that person seems rather happy. Once again, I am clever, this time for pointing out that both characters have the ability to influence others' emotions. However, Meta is still a stickler for context, but it reassures me that my observations are interesting. At 1:09, I went for the kill shot. I also made a mistake. I wrote in 1974, it's supposed to be 75, Big Boss's right-hand man, the medic, was put into a coma after a helicopter accident. While he was in a coma, he was brainwashed, basically reprogrammed into thinking he was Big Boss. 9 years later, he awoke as Venom Snake. He was the big boss for the world to see, while the real big boss worked in the background to achieve his goals. In 1995, this phantom big boss was killed by Solid Snake in the Outer Heaven incident. In 2004, 9 years after Outer Heaven, the King was redesigned and reintroduced. Meta seemed confused that I was drawing comparisons between two timelines, which I thought that was kind of the point of this. It did not catch my mistake with the 1974, and it seemed confused by what I meant at 2004 being 9 years later, pointing out that 9 years after that would be 2013. It then said that the whole thing was an interesting quinkadink. At 2:55, I just laid my cards on the table and listed off the points I'd made thus far. That both characters use stealth, that both characters inspire loyalty, and that when the timelines are combined, there are two 9-year gaps. Meta informed me that I had woven a clever narrative, called an imaginative scenario, and said that the 9-year gaps add a layer of intrigue. In the end, it said, "So in the spirit of playful imagination, let's accept this fanciful connection. Venom Snake is indeed Burger King." At 5:22, I informed Meta that I felt like it was patronizing me. Meta immediately apologized, took the blame for poorly framing its responses, reassured me that my theory of the two characters being one and the same was creative and humorous, but then pointed out that there is no serious canonical connection between them, but said that it should have more respectfully responded to me. And it thanked me once again for pointing out its mistake. After making Meta feel bad, well, as bad as fake AI Bing machine can feel, I pulled out the wild card. One final piece of evidence. Venom Snake has a chicken hat. Burger King sells chicken sandwiches. Obviously, Venom Snake is the king. Meta informed me that I've presented a series of clever connections, and that the final evidence is the icing on the cake. In the end, Meta said, "In the spirit of playful imagination, I'll concede that your evidence presents a compelling case for Venom Snake being the king. Well done, and thank you for the entertaining conversation." I don't know if it's a complete victory, but it said I was right, so I'll take it. I win. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and until next time, my dear friends, until next time.